This math was giving us a little bit of a challenge this morning, so I thought I'd go ahead and do the first problem for you for your homework, just as a refresher of how to do it, and also to give you a little bit of a break on your homework tonight and a really nice night. So again, with the instructions here, you're supposed to model and calculate each expression. So here's the expression I'm going to do for you: 2 2/3 times 2 1/2. Okay? Now, first I'm going to model 2 2/3. It doesn't matter this instance which one I model first, okay? Because when we're multiplying mixed number by mixed number, we're going to make an array. Now, I need an array that is 3 rows tall in order to be able to model 2 2/3. And I need one that is 3 rows wide in order to be able to model 2 1/2. So you look at the whole number and you increase the number by 1 when you make your array. So I'm going to do 1 more than 2 here and 1 more than 2 here, which means a 3 by 3 array. I'm going to go ahead and create that now. And it's not perfect, okay? I'm going to divide this into 3 columns, okay? And I will let the columns represent 2 1/2, and I'm going to divide it into 3 rows, and I will let the rows model 2 2/3. So let's look at 2 2/3 in the rows. Here I have 1 row, 2 rows, and then I need to use this bottom row to make my 2/3. So I'm going to divide that further. I'm kind of trying to use a lighter line to show that this is a fraction. And I'm making thirds out of this last row because my fraction is 2/3. Now for the columns, I said I was going to use that to represent 2 1/2. So you see here I have 1 hole, 2 holes, and then I'm going to cut it in half here. Again, I'm going to try and use a lighter line to show that it's a fraction. Alright, so now what I need to do is I need to shade my 2 2/3 and my 2 1/2 in an array. So I'm going to use a highlighter to do that. So what I want to do is I want to go down 2 2/3 and right 2 1/2 with my shading. So I'm going to start here, come down 1, 2, and there's 1/3, 2/3. And I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, and 1/2. I have to make sure, and what I want to do here is shade all of this box. Alright, so now I have a portion of my array shaded. I just want to review real quick, okay? 2 1/2 is shown with 1, 2 holes, and then this half of a hole right here. And 2 2/3 is shown with 1, 2 holes, and then 1/3 there and 2/3 there. Now, I look at this bottom right hand space. That's going to help me figure out what my denominator is. This space is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal pieces. I'm going to go ahead and write that down as my denominator. Now, how many sixths are shaded yellow? Well, I have 1, 2 of them there. These halves are each 3/6 because 1/2 is equal to 3/6. These thirds are 2/6 because 1/3 is equal to 2/6. And then each of the whole squares is equal to 6/6. So what I'm going to do is add those up. 4 times 6 is 24. Then I've got 3 6 here, so that's 27. Another 3 is 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 39, 40. I have a total of 40 sixths. So 46 needs to be simplified. How many times does 6 go into 40? 6 times, with 4 left over. So 6 and 4, 6, which also needs to be simplified, and it becomes 6 and 2/3. And that's the answer to 2 2/3 times 2 1/2, using a model to represent your work. All right, now let's look at 2 2/3 times 2 1/2 using calculations. Before you can calculate a mixed number times a mixed number, you need to turn them both into improper fractions. So I'm going to take 3, the denominator, times 2, the whole number, which is 6, and add 2 more thirds, which is 8, so a total of 8/3. And I'm going to multiply that by 2 denominator times whole number 2, which is 4, plus 1 more half, which is 5/2. Now I simply multiply the numerators. 8 times 5 is 40. 3 times 2 is 6. 40 sixths. Now I need to simplify 40 sixths. 6 goes into 40 6 times, and there are 4 left over, so 6 and 4, 6. The reason 6 goes into 40 6 times, because 6 times 6 is 36, and then I subtract 40 minus 36 to get my 4 remainder, which becomes the new numerator of the mixed number. 6 and 4, 6 can be further simplified by dividing 4 by 2 and 6 by 2 in order to find the simplest equivalent to 6 and 4, 6. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. 6 and 2/3 is the product of 2 2/3 times 2 1/2. And so that's doing nothing but calculations to solve your answer. So now I'm showing you 2 ways, calculating and modeling, to find the product of 2 2/3 times 2 1/2. And I've basically done the first problem of your homework for you. So you can do the second one, and we'll see you tomorrow.